or you leave a nursing home with a camera full of pictures of bruises, or a little boy coughs blood on your shirt and you realize that his so-called guardian was punishing him by scratching the inside of his mouth, or that sweet messed up kid who was teasing you about your messy office last week was found dead on a script job with an overdose over the weekend. So I expect you'll cuss. Now that's a bit morbid, I suppose, for a celebratory occasion, and this is, above all else, a celebration. But I guarantee you, tears and sorrow and heartache and worry and pain. I wish it didn't have to be that way, but it does. I probably ought to feel sorry for you, but I don't. Not really. I worry about you a little bit, but I don't feel sorry for you. Because you're the best. Because I've helped train you, and I know what you're capable of. You're up to the task. The mountains need you. America needs you. The world needs you. So take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. Don't lose track of the people around you, because people like you all are hard to find. And I know this because I've tried to find several of you over the last couple of years or so, and it's been quite a difficult task. That's pretty much all I have to say. In closing, I charge you with this. Be brave. Speak the truth. Put the needs of others first. Protect the weak. Fight injustice. Really listen when people talk. Be humble. Question your motives. Cultivate compassion. And cultivate wisdom. God bless and protect you all. Thank you.
Graduates, please help me welcome SPC faculty member Dan Williamson.
In light of that wonderful speech, I'd like to apologize to all the farmers for all the melons I've swiped over the years. I've swiped a lot more than I've grown. So I apologize to all the farmers. It's interesting because those of you who have had me in class have heard a lot about Alfred Adler. So you're probably sick of that. So I'm drawing from another Viennese, or the third of the Viennese schools, Viktor Frankl. He speaks to me. He speaks to me about something I've found throughout my life and something I hope for you. It's called meaningfulness. It's interesting too because, and I'm going to steal this from a movie. I'm sure most of you have seen the movie City Slickers. And you've seen the scene where Jack Palance and Billy Crystal are sitting around the campfire, waxing philosophically about this. Does everyone remember that? What is the meaning of life? And Jack Palance said it's this. And of course, Billy Crystal, he's not knowing what he's talking about. He said, you have to find what this means to you. Well, I ask you, should the question be, what is the meaning of life? Or should the question be, how do we find meaning in life? Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms. To choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way, to find meaning. Everything you've heard from the speakers today has been about finding that meaning, finding your purpose, making it meaningful for you. Well, I urge you to do the same. It's a spiritual freedom which cannot be taken away that makes life meaningful and purposeful. Word of warning though, you should live life as if you were living for the, pardon me, let me start over. You should live as if you were living for the second time and acted as wrongly the first time as you are about to act now. Keep that in mind because what you project often is reflected back to you. You have to be cautious about what you're doing. You have to do it very purposefully and very meaningfully. There are three main avenues on which one derives meaning in life. The first is by creating a work or by doing a deed. The work's there. It's now your turn to do the deed. And you've done that today. You stepped up. You've chosen a path in life where you find very meaningful. The second is by experiencing something or encountering someone. We actually had a very sad thing happen for the School of Professional Counseling as well as for the community of Hazard, because we lost one of our faculty members. Many of you may know Dr. Mary Cloth. I'd like to take a moment of silence for her. Remember Mary, as she was not just a member of the community, she was a member of the academic community. She served you. Now you can serve her by doing her work, continuing that work. She'll be teaching us for a very long time. Keep in mind that meaning is found not only in the work, but also in love. Third, most important, even the helpless victim of a hopeless situation, facing a fate unchangeable, may rise above himself, grow beyond himself, and by doing so, change him or herself. You have this capacity. You have this capacity to teach it to others. So for yourself and others, turn that personal tragedy into triumph. Even in the current presidential race, one of the candidates has built a campaign upon the premise that we as a nation have a tradition based on the simple notion that we have a stake in one another, and what binds us together is greater than what drives us apart. And that if enough people believe in the truth of that proposition and act upon it, that we might not solve every problem, but we can get something meaningful done. That's what you've done today. You've done something meaningful. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, only 19% of the population of Kentucky have earned a bachelor's degree or higher. You're among the elite. You're among the proud few. Go out and encourage others to do the same. Help elevate those around you. It's interesting because I can't help but quote a little Adler. So you get one final lesson from Adler. Adler encouraged us all to strive for superiority. When he meant superiority, he meant personal superiority. He meant help grow and help yourself grow, but take someone with you. You don't do it on the backs of others. You do it with the help of others. You'll be leaders in your communities, organizations, and your families. You will make a difference and you will find meaning. Viktor Frankl's final quote, one little final piece of wisdom from him. The perception of meaning boils down to one thing: becoming aware of what can be done. Your eyes are open now. You've been open to some horrible things, but your eyes have also been open to some wonderful things. Look through it. See the forest for the trees, and see the trees for the forest. And I know that sounds a little cryptic, but you know exactly what I'm talking about, because you've already seen it, and you've been given the wisdom to be able to see it. So go forth, do something about it, and make a difference. Thank you.
We have two graduates here today to celebrate an amazing accomplishment. These two women are receiving their Master's of Education, Mental Health Counseling and Human Development today. To honor you, I present the Dean of the School of Professional Counseling, Dr. John Lindsey.